Hey everybody, welcome back to Pocket Change. We got you one out last week. We're getting you one out this week. But this week, we really want to tell you that we are changing our format completely. We're going away from what we sold and doing eBay news because there's a million other people doing that. The one thing we think that we do differently is the pick or pass. So this episode, we'll talk about those other things, do one pick or pass item, and then starting next week, we're just going to do pick or passes going forward. What do you think about that, Joel?
I think that's a great idea. I think our listeners here and our watchers, I think that's what sets us apart. I think, showing you guys what we get, where we get, and how much we're getting it for, and giving you ideas of what to go look for that's selling. And not only does it keep us above the trend, but it keeps you guys above the trend. And the few of you that actually watch us religiously, we appreciate that very much. I think it gives you an edge. And until we get out there big and bad, um, I think that the ones that listen to us are going to have a leg up because they're going to be like, oh, they've already done the research for me. Because here's one thing I noticed going to my first yard sale. Yay. Here's one thing I noticed. It takes so much time for you to dig through and look for an item and then research that item and do the sales. If we've already done a lot of the legwork for you, you can literally write on a list of paper or put it in your phone or however and say these are things we need to look for. These are already the ones that are batting 30 or 50 or even up to Ben's little jukeboxes at 230%. You can make a list of those just by watching our shows and go out and just look for those items and build a huge eBay business based off of those. And another thing is, I'm still in a confined space. I have expanded into this room here. This is my eBay office room, and it's still not done yet, but it is working like a champ. If you look behind you, and I don't know if Benz wants to pan, but he has, because of his job moving him to Savannah, he's in an apartment, and so he's only got like 700 square feet. Yeah, so you see, he's racking it up in there, but that's a huge difference between having a home where he had a three-car garage and two storage buildings and all that stuff. So I think Picker Pass really gives you a point to what I'm saying, folks, is it gives you a point to make a list, get from not just because I noticed this. If you go to one yard sale and you're doing the research, you're going to spend 30 to 40 minutes at that one yard sale. You're going to drive down the road, that's drive time to another yard sale, and you're going to spend 30 to 40 minutes, maybe an hour there looking through stuff. If you have your list of things that you know that we've already researched, 20 minutes at one yard sale, boom, if they don't have a need, go down the road to the next one. You will find it, but it makes you more efficient, and then you're not wasting time too on space that has a sell-through rate of 5%, like Ben's and I've done on some things. I mean, you know,
Yeah, I gotta get away from that. I have very limited space here now. So I need to make sure that I am buying high sell-through rate, good return. Although I brought probably about 1,000 comic books and like 40,000 cards that I'm going to list and use that I bought that I just never put on. I also have probably about 200 belt buckles that I don't have listed yet. There are a lot of multiples in there. So I might think of doing some live selling and check that out, see how that goes. So, we
I think
change
that'd
up
be
what we're
pretty
doing.
cool. Yeah.
Live selling seems to be taking off, but I mean, I have to have time to do that. So, I mean, this week I had a total of four sales, nothing exciting, cards and two belt buckles. I had to shut the store back down because my printer died. I had to buy a new printer. It didn't die. I brought the printer, but I didn't bring the PC that the printer was on. Then I spent 4 hours trying to get the drivers to work on this damn thing, and it didn't. So I just spent $50, bought a new one. Spent $250 on racks and here, so we're good to go. And all
Uh,
the stuff I brought filled about, I don't know, maybe 20% of the rack. I think I might have went nuts. I got 9 racks in this place.
Well,
So
I mean, long as everything works. I mean, you got to have
yeah,
enough items to sell, folks. Here's the thing I'm going to tell you from what I've learned and what Ben's has learned by having to scale down. And I don't want to speak for Ben's, but I've heard him say it, so he can come on and talk about it. What I've learned is you need 1,000 items.
yeah.
That's a magic number. You need 1,000 items. I'm nowhere near there yet, and I'm struggling to get there. And part of the reason I'm struggling to get there is because I focused for so long. If you've been watching Picker Pass, I focused so long on making sure that the items I was buying had a good sell through rate. It's hard to build up your items when you're trying to list 10 a day and you're selling 5 a day and stay ahead of the curve and build it up. It's hard to do that, but you're making money, so you're okay with it. I mean, I'm having the best time of my life, best sales, period right now. And I think it's because I finally got around to listing those things and starting to really push to list those things that I've been collecting that are better resale rates. So,
Yeah.
this whole doing this pick or pass has pushed me to be better. Having a small footprint's pushed me to be better. Benz, what have you learned by having to downsize? Have you learned similar thing? I mean, what's been your
I learned that the Peaches to Beaches was this weekend, and I was thinking about going to the yard sale, and I didn't.
Ooh.
Mainly because I don't need to right now. I needed to fix this. So I missed out on the Peaches to Beaches, which is a huge yard sale in Georgia that runs right. I could have went to it very easily. So I didn't go to that. I'm learning that yeah, I got to get lightweight stuff. I got to get stuff that'll easy to pack. I mean, my whole shipping one shelf is just boxes and I got my tape and all my stuff there. So that's the only space I'm going to delegate to that. So the biggest box I have is 10 by 4 by 4, and then I have a 10 by 3 by 3. I have some 10 by 10 by 3s that I use for action figures. But I'm going to try to stay in that ballpark, the smaller items, mainly poly bags and shipping it out. So I haven't learned anything yet because I just started, right? So I'm starting over anew. I
Yeah, but
learned that
what
it is
about
painful to complete
what about your sales versus, because
2200.
you took a lot of stuff off your store because it's still back in
Yeah,
storage back in Tampa.
right.
You took a lot of stuff down. What have you noticed in drop in sales? I mean, that kind of thing.
Well, I can't really speak to that because I reopened the store a week ago Sunday. Had it open for 3 days, sold something, went to go print the label, couldn't print the label, put the store back on hiatus again. And I've had 4 sales and I was open for like 5 days. I do think my sales will drop because I'm losing a lot of the bigger sell through things that I had. The belt buckles have always been a few a week, so I expect that'll keep going. I'm going to push into the cards, and they are, but that's a $2 item. So I don't. I think it's a neat thing to do. It'll be able, I upgraded to the supersized store because I lost my job. I left there. I got over 2,000 items, so then I had to go to the 10,000 item. The one advantage to that is there's 50,000 free listings and cards are in that, and comic books I think are too. So I can get a bunch of free listings there, but I'll probably never get to the 10,000 regular listings. I think the 2,000 store will probably be sufficient for most people. I think I was, but let's see. I took out 2,200 items and just deleted them. I looked at maybe getting listing software, and then I would be able to move the products over there and hold on to them. But it was going to cost me like $40 a month, and probably going to be 6 to 8 months here at least. So I did the math and said, you know what? I can do 100 items a day if I really bust my butt. So it's 22 days worth of work, or spend $1,000 over the next year just to hold on to them, and I just let it go. So
Well,
I
I
don't have a
think,
whole lot of insight yet.
well, we'll be, and that may be some of the things we want to talk about just quickly as we go into the picker pass, folks, because here's the thing. The idea, the new modern economy, guys, I was a business major, finance major. Ben's is a logistics major and works in logistics, and I work and here's the thing. I'm telling you, you got to apply your eBay store the same as you apply, same as any other corporation. And less footprint because footprint costs. I mean, good
Yes.
lord, go try to rent. Look at a storage building versus renting a warehouse. Footprint cost, maintenance of footprint cost. So you're already in your home. Can you do it in your home or do you have to go buy a storage shed to put out back? I mean, there's a thing. Then when you buy that storage shed, what items can you put in there because of changing humidity? Now you got to put electricity to it. You got to put so there's a lot of factors in dealing with footprint. Ben's will tell you logistically, and I'll tell you from the business admin side of it. So you want to keep your footprint as, small, but you don't want to not sell anything. The idea is to
Yeah.
make money with this. So There's one thing I've learned, and it's interesting. Ben's is transitioning to basically the same footprint that I've been dealing with, but I really think you got to get to that 1,000 items, and you got to have space to have 1,000 items. What that's going to mean is no more gigantic paintings like I've got sitting over there that's a 3 foot by 4 foot. That was really why I built this box back here, because of that painting, and now this box is going to go away eventually. I'm still using it right now as it takes really gorgeous paintings, pictures. It really does. But I learned a lot building the ugly duckling or ugly Betty or whatever you want to call it back here.
Big
So,
Bertha.
but that painting does me no good. It takes up a lot of space. I don't have much in it because it was so huge. You see items all the time. I mean, like Ben's told me one time, you can buy furniture a lot from places for $1, nice pieces of furniture,
I
because
know.
nobody wants to move it, and you can't sell it real easy because it's not something that ships easy. Furniture comes in a
You put
box
in the
these
bar back.
days.
Yeah.
You're not taking apart antique furniture and putting it in a box and so they can reassemble it. But what's that one store that everybody talks about that does all the furniture? IKEA. Everything's
Yeah.
IKEA these days. So you got to be more efficient, bigger. Bigger. More is less. That's the idea. More is less. So, but I do think you have to get
Yeah.
around 1,000 items because I've been coming off of these, figuring out where I'm at, where I want to be, and honestly, you need 1,000 items just to get to where. Man, we got some feedback going on now. What are you moving over there? We can already
My
see how
camera.
pretty
I'm
you
trying to
are.
see that door. I'm trying to cover that up.
Ah,
I usually
piece of
don't
paper,
do podcasts
piece,
during the light.
piece of piece of black paper.
I know. I need to do something
It's
with that.
fine. It's fine. Put your head back. It was fine.
No, that's why I moved all around just so my head. And now I got a huge head, so much closer than you.
But well, because I'm sitting back, I got my camera jacked up. Folks, that's one thing that I have done here. He had a nice setup, as you remember, at
Oh,
home,
this is crazy.
but now he's
That light keeps popping. I bought some cheap Chinese thing off of Amazon, and it's bright. It made me clear. It's great. But every once in a while, it goes. "Blink, blink." I'm afraid I'm gonna burn the joint down. I don't know.
it starts shooting sparks. We got it on camera.
It's
But
LED, so
anyways,
it's not even hot. I don't know what's going on with it. Yeah.
like I said, folks, and there's again, that's part of the reason why we're changing the format. We're going to Picker Pass, help you guys be more efficient, help us be more efficient. Because let's face it, do you really want to know what we bought this week, what eBay's done this week? I mean, if you do, that's great. Comment and tell us. We'll try to keep
Yeah,
that
and,
some
and
of
there's
that
no
going.
way
But
they're doing that, right? And that's the thing. We're trying to be different, do our own thing. We'll see.
well, I think do what
If you don't
makes us us.
tell us, we'll change it.
So we are going to bring in some Picker Pass item here on this show for you. But I don't know, Benz. What do you think? Is it thumbs up or thumbs down on the regular
Well,
pocket
I think
change
regular
pocket?
podcasts are going away, right? So I'm moved on. I'm doing another podcast where I'm talking about that kind of stuff, and I don't want to double dip on. I can't have the sale of the week on two different two different podcasts. Right now, my sales of the week suck, so it doesn't matter. But we definitely. But I still want to hear from you. If you have something exciting that's happening in your world, I definitely want to get that out there. But I don't want to double dip, right? So,
Well, I definitely learned something this week. I definitely learned
what'd
something
you
this
learn
week.
this week?
I learned that we can still do old-fashioned local pickup on eBay. I'd never explored that. I thought that was dead and gone. Dropped that item off today. Met the lady at a in front of the UPS store, local UPS store, and scanned the little thing. It said or pickup confirmed, and boom, away we went. I mean, so now I will tell you this, folks. It sucks. It's good, but it sucks. Here's why. One, you got to drive somewhere and wait on somebody to get there and set up your time. I was like, and of course, then you're trying to figure out who's who in a parking lot because you got to meet in a public place. I mean, so that took 15
Yes,
minutes figuring out each other. And then I looked at it, and here's the thing. I still own eBay fees. He just disappears out of the camera frame, folks. Is this the new? We're gonna check this podcast pocket change reselling Houdini.
I'm trying to fix this light thing. It would annoy me if I was watching it.
Oh, well, that
Yeah. No,
definitely it's not weird at all. He just
there
disappeared.
you go.
But you can
Now it looks
still do
weird.
local pickup. Now it's a little different. Now you have to go into your shipping policies, scroll all the way to the bottom, and slide the little bar over for local pickup. And then what sucks is the fact that I still had the stupid thing boosted when she bought it because I didn't know if she was going to buy it or not because I was trying to figure out if she was going to buy the ones that went with it. And so I got charged that, but also the fees on it. So it's like, oh my gosh, I would have made money off the shipping on that item. Not much,
Yeah.
but probably another dollar or two off the shipping. And I lost that. So is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. We'll see. Probably going to list that huge painting over there on eBay now, but local pickup only, and see if anybody will buy that humongous thing. I literally have like $3 in it, and now I know why, because it's huge. Did you freeze?
No, I
No.
didn't freeze. Did
Okay.
I?
I'm talking too much. I got to shut up and vape.
No, talk, man. I mean, it's good to hear from you. We don't get the
But it's been
bullshit
a
like we
good
used
it's
to
been a
because now
good
I do
couple
talk.
weeks.
Yeah.
It's been a good couple weeks. It really has. That
I
one
do talk because
watch,
I get up
man.
early. I got to get up early, so I go to bed early. I'm like an old man now. Like 10 o'clock, I'm in bed. But 5 o'clock in the morning comes quick.
Oh,
So
don't be
we
afraid to
used to.
don't be afraid to sell lots, folks. All the little small stuff, some of the small stuff that was in the same category that I was like, I can't sell it. It's either too cheap of an item that I got in another lot or da 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 da. Don't be afraid to lot it up and sell it as a lot. Make you a little something off of it is better than nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
so I'm so tickled I got
All
rid of
right.
all those stupid Disney dolls too.
Yes. So that's good.
Anyway,
To a reseller
I
for no
gave that
doubt.
away for a local charity.
Mhm.
But
All right. So what do you got? What's your first pick? Your pick and pass for today?
okay,
All
you see
right.
it good? You see the
Yeah.
reflection of the cameras and everything. But
And you see the
okay, so
reflection of
it's
myself.
there's a better.
There you go.
That's a better view
Perfect.
of it. Okay, so I picked up. Benz and I were looking, and I found these. What, a year ago? Yeah, about a
Something
year
like
ago.
that.
There was five of them together. This is one of the items that lady bought one of these today. I paid $26.87 for the five of them. The one I sold today, total sold was $24.99. I ended up with $18.63.
Nice.
So if you divide the 26.87 out, I mean I spent what, like a little over $5 for each one of them.
Yeah.
So I put about $13 in my pocket. Not bad, not terrible, not great. But here's the thing: most people would pass on this. Not a well-known artist, local, and the frames were damaged. Frames were damaged. They were all scuffed up. They all looked bad. Here's what I'm going to tell you, folks. Go to your local hardware store. Look
Hmm.
for the Minwax stain touch-up pens.
They
Take you
work
some
good.
steel, a little bit of steel wool, and a little bit of, don't sandpaper, no sandpaper whatsoever. Now, if you look at this frame now, it looks immaculate. I have restored this frame with just that. Literally 12
Nice.
bucks in the supplies, and I'm gonna be able to use them. That's my first picker pass item. So I'm
All
gonna
right.
tell you based on the value of it, because here's the thing. I picked that item for one reason. One, local unknown artist. Two, you're not going to find it on eBay that much. So it's not going to have a great resale value. Sometimes you just have to go with your gut. I was like, these are some pretty cool paintings. I can get them for $26.87. I looked at Ben's. I said, what do you think? He was like, well, I think you probably sell them for 25
Yeah.
bucks a
Okay.
piece. I was like, yeah, I think I can
Yeah.
too. Boom. Here's what I found out by doing it, though. That local artist actually has a almost cultic following. She was her husband was a well-known contractor that is a homemade frame from historic home restorations in this area. And some of the marks that are on the wood were from nails where he used salvaged old wood. That wood may be 300 years old. I don't know. And her prints, you can't get any more prints because she's gone. She's quit painting. Now she's not dead, but she has dementia now. She left in 2014 from this area, moved back home to Maine, and she's not been painting since then. And she took all of her originals that's a print of and donated them to the local art museum. They can't
Nice.
make any more. There's no more prints to be made off of it. And then she was very careful of who she gave the prints to, and a lot of them have been destroyed. See, all that stuff that makes it valuable to an art collector because there's no way to really assess the value on something like that. So you may want to check out some local artists. Just do some Google searches on some local artists and see what they've got. Because a lot of times you can buy their art decently cheap, and it's going to be pretty good art. And if you get a hold of one that's got a story like that, that's going to sell it more. And you get a hold of one that's got a following, hold on to it for a couple years. It's okay. I've held on that for over a year because the frames were damaged, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and repair them and get it listed. And cheap repair on frames, people. You can as long as the frame is not busted or cracked. I've got one over there at the frames. I can't restore it because it's got pieces missing off of it, so it can't be restored. But buy wood. If you see them in wood frames, that's easy to restore. A little bit of steel wool, just rub it a little bit where it's at to smooth it out. Then take the pen and a piece of paper, not a piece of paper, but like a napkin or a paper towel or something. Take the pen, color the area, and then color all the way down each side. Smear it in little circles. And what will happen is it'll get rid of all that and it'll blend it all together and it'll look all one color. And you'll be shocked. You'll be like, oh my gosh, and it will raise your retail value quite a bit because now the frame doesn't look crappy. It looks like it's great.
Yeah.
And so little things like that, and I restored that one right there in like 10 minutes. And I guarantee you, if without it, I would have got like $15. Now I'm gonna get 25
Yeah.
to 30.
And what's the dimensions of that
It's
paint?
a little on the big side because the
Yeah.
frame dimensions. That's another thing you got to pay attention to with the frame dimensions. So it is a 16 by 26. So it's a
That's
little
not
bit
bad.
on the
As
big
long as you
side.
don't go over 30 inches.
Right.
As soon as you get over that 30-inch mark with your box, it gets astronomically insane. I have a bunch of really big, nice paintings and then just buying the box is expensive for you. So,
Well, and that's why I was like,
Granger.
well, maybe I should do local pickup.
Yeah.
And that's what I sold one of those. And so here's the thing, folks. Yeah, okay, so I cleared like $13. I made 1863. Okay, so if I sell another one, same deal. Let's see if I sell another one the same deal, but I won't do it the same price. But if I sell another one the same deal, I have replaced my money completely,
Yeah.
and I've got three more to sell. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get them all repaired. I've still got four of them. I'm going to list them as a set, all for like 115 bucks, all four of them. And then I'm going to offer in the ad, we'll separate for 35 bucks.
Yeah.
Because somebody sees something they really want. Because I think I sold that one a little cheap. Because the lady that I met today, she was like, "Oh my gosh, I love her, and I've loved her for a long time, and you just had it so cheap, and I just couldn't resist it." I went, so, but part of it
Nice.
is, even though she's not a famous artist, the Maggie Frickett, the lady that painted that or did that,
Yeah.
she's not a famous artist. She has a following, and she has a story, and there's no more of them. There will never be
Yeah.
another one. She's done. So, and that's
And that
what
lady might come back and buy the other ones eventually,
she
right?
might.
So,
She might. So that is really, so my
all right.
picker
So there's
path
no
I'm
share on this. Like to look it up
no,
on
I mean,
eBay.
because only if I look it up, it's only going to show the other one I got listed. And so it would show 100% resale value right now because
Oh,
Mine
that's
was
the
the
other thing
only
you got to
one.
look at. If there's less than 20 something, and there's, the resale value really, the resale rate really doesn't make any sense, right? Because it could be like if someone was out there they found one, they looked it up, like it was one listed, one sold, 100% sell through, buy it. But you've got five of them, had them for a year, really only sold one. So the resale isn't 100%. Like in
Well,
90 days,
it's
you're not next one.
right, but it's only been listed for 2 weeks.
Oh, I agree. I agree. I'm not
I
saying it's not
mean,
sell. It might sell quicker than that. It might, you know what? You might sell them all in a month. But you got to watch that. If it's only a few things, or if you find something that's not there, like I do that all the time, there's a good chance it's going to sell. You know, but they'll never sell. Who knows? It's the unknown there.
yeah,
All right,
and
here's
that's the
mine.
thing. So, well, hang on before we get yours. I want to say this, folks. A lot of times you'll see our stuff and we'll say and we'll bring it up. Oh, there's nothing listed, and that's why I went ahead and I already looked it up. Mine's the only
Yeah,
one, and it's showing sold. And there's two.
yeah.
There's only one more listed, which is again mine, because I listed two, sold one of them. So you could say, well, it's only got a 50%. Well, technically, I mean, so here's what I'm saying. Some things are subjective. So you want to take a Ben's is like, if it's $1, I'll buy it. I know I can sell it for 5. I know I can sell it for 10. So sometimes, we get so into this, and we talked about being efficient, but sometimes you want to take a chance if you got the space on certain things. Don't go buying indigenous art just because you think it's pretty. We already looked at that. There's a lot of it out there. It
I still
doesn't have a
have that
high.
pile of flowers.
It doesn't have. And
I,
there's another thing is things are trendy too.
yes,
Things are real
that
trendy
was in the
because
90s.
Ben's was selling hats like crazy for 2 years, and he didn't even
Yeah,
bring any
and then
hats with him.
I didn't bother because the hat market just dumped out. Plus, even though hats aren't big, they take up a decent amount of space if you don't want to crush them. So I'll probably buy
Well, and
some
that's the
hats
thing
on here
about
unless.
artwork is you can actually slide it. Ben's could actually store quite a bit of art right there real easy because he could
Yeah,
stand it up and lean it up and have several. He probably have 10 paintings just there together. You just want to make sure you
yeah.
package them right. But
And when
damage,
I
I
go
didn't want
back
you to be
next
afraid
time,
of damaged frames.
no, when I go back next time, there's a bunch of prints that I bought that I haven't listed. Not in frames, just prints. I think I'll bring them. I'm gonna look for things that are small, easy to ship.
Yep, that's a huge key. So what you got? Let's see what you got because this is one of the items you brought with you.
Yeah, I brought it with
So
me.
AI phone? What is that?
It's a
AI
power
phone.
supply. It's a power supply, new in the box, for like a phone system, like you would have at a business. And I have
Oh.
sold a few of these. I found like six of them. I've never talked about it on here. I have two left that I kept. I was like, okay, they're not very big. They can fit, so I brought them. And I got to relist it because I took it down because I I deleted way too much stuff.
Well, while
I
you're
forgot.
while you're getting ready to share, I want to interject here too, folks. You may say, "Well, you're not going to find that at a yard sale." Actually, you will. Here's how you
Yeah,
will,
that's why I
because
sell
I've
mine.
seen stuff like that at a yard sale all the time. You get workers who retire and they've got all this stuff from, like Mike. We love you, man, but Mike, when I needed something for my electrical stuff, Mike was an electrician for good God, I think all his life, because I think his dad on his, you
His
know,
dad was an electrician too. That's his whole thing.
I couldn't find what I needed anywhere. And Mike was like, "Oh, let me check." "Oh yeah, I got it." I'm like, "See, I mean, because they're always coming out, and companies have to replace stuff all the time to keep you buying their stuff. Well, upgrading a phone system is huge. So if he's got that phone box there that they need that one part, especially a small
Yeah.
business
So
owner,
yeah, I had six of them. I got two left. They sell pretty consistently. It's not. I have to relist it because the last time I sold it, I guess I didn't sell similar because I only put one of anything out there. I try not to put multiples because I want them to, it's just easier that way for me. So, but let's look it up.
oh, let's look
Share.
it up and see, because you will find things like this, folks. Get my calculator ready. My trusty dusty calculator. Yeah, right there it is. Good Lord, look at the range of prices. What?
I know that person's super high. It's
Now
around
see,
this price. $100 is about what it's what if you were going to buy it new, right? So new. 165 open box. I don't know why that guy. It's a little high. 99. So about $100 is what it should sell for. Pre-owned, $30. Open box, 55. That open box looks pretty rough. 150 pre-owned.
yeah, but I mean, so how many we got here? Of course, really,
So
if you're
we
just
got,
doing new, I mean, what was that?
yeah, I can put new in there.
31
I just,
results. Okay, we got 31 total.
and
We got
24
24
sold.
sold. See, folks, I mean,
See, like this person was a fool. They put it on auction. It's not something that's going to win, from an
yeah,
auction.
no. It's a
New 70.
77%. That is a
Yeah.
77% sell through rate for a $100 item. You buy that for
A lot of
10
these,
bucks at a yard sale because they're
uh,
just trying to get rid of it.
yeah.
I mean,
Used sells for about 35 to $40. Brand new, 60 to 70. 75, 75, 80.
80.
So,
So 60 to 80 bucks. Spend
yep.
5, 10 bucks on it. And what you're going to
Hmm.
find too with something like that, you go to somebody you find wanted a yard sale, they're going to have a whole lot more stuff usually to go with it because the guy, usually I find stuff like that at a place where they're having a yard sale where two things has happened. Either the guy who was doing the work has retired and he's like, I just need to get rid of all this junk out of my house. His
Yep.
wife's fussing at him to get it out, or the guy held on to it just like, well, maybe someday I'll do this again, or somebody will need a part, or something like that. And now he's deceased, and his family's trying to. I mean, honestly, that's how I got a hold of these paintings that
Yeah.
I just sold. That's how I got that pocket watch that I paid $3 and something for, and sold it for 500, because
Yeah.
somebody, the person who collected it died. They didn't know what they had, and on the pocket watch, they just ditched it off to Goodwill. Goodwill put it up in a lot because it was missing hands and it didn't work, and it didn't look like the. So they just threw it in a lot, not knowing what it was. I bought the lot, paid like $2.50 to $3 per watch. I was like, oh wait, that's what Ben's doing here. Oh wait, hey,
And that's
no.
definitely this. Someone had passed away. They had a bunch of stuff like that. I had a couple other items I got from him. Some of them aren't worth much. That one was, but it worked out.
And don't be afraid to dicker at yard sales either, folks. If I take like the guy, I watched that box of Disney stuff go. The guy was like, "How much you want for these?" And they were like, "I don't know, $1 a piece, 50 cents a piece. What do you want to give for them?" And he's like, "I'll do 50 cents a piece. How many's in there?" So they started counting. He's like, "Look, I'll just give you 10 bucks for the whole box." So he walked away with all that whole box of like 20 of those stuffed animals for 10 bucks. And I know he's a reseller. I reckon, guys, we recognize each other at yard sales. It's not hard. You got your little cell phone out. You're over in your little huddle with your significant other or your buddy, and you're taking a picture.
I like how you're all
Hey,
hunched down, like,
what do you think of this? Well, that's the way every one of them was at the yard sale I was at. I could immediately spot the resellers because the ones that was buying it for themselves, it was like, oh, this is cute, and they hold it up and they hold it. And the resellers over like, oh, did you see that right there? Oh, shit. And they're all trying to be secretive. But
So next
that's an
Saturday
awesome.
when I'm off,
That's,
I'm going to go to the bins here and check that out. That's my goal next Saturday.
well, that was an awesome item. That was a
Yeah.
77% resale value, and that's an item too, folks, that most of us would pass up. Most of us would be like, "Oh, that's some old part. You got to have the rest of it to go with it."
Yeah. Anytime
Well,
you see
folks,
find anything that is new in the box and it's some kind of part like that, it's probably something worthwhile.
don't pass up
Excuse
on
me.
that. I will tell you another thing, and Mike, don't shoot me for saying this. Please don't shoot me. I don't want to hone in on Mike say, but if you see a box of breakers
Yeah.
At a yard sale, pick them up. If they look like they still work, pick them up because those things can sell for a lot of money. And here's the reason why: go try to replace all the breakers in your breaker box. Go upgrade your breaker box because you can't get the breakers for it anymore. Because now that was one thing I kept talking to Mike about
Yeah.
because we're going to all this plug on neutral stuff, so we're in a changeover of it. I don't want to have to tear out everything I've already got and spend 500 to $1,000 putting in this
Well, that's
all
the thing.
new
Like,
stuff.
yeah, and he's the thing that he sold. He had like 20,000 breakers, or some crazy number of breakers, because they replaced a whole apartment complex, and he took the breakers, and they gave him he could take them, so he took them and he put them in his shop because he's a hoarder like myself. And then one day he's like,
Me too,
oh,
apparently.
to get that breaker now, they haven't produced them in 20 years, so you're going to get a used one. And he's like, oh, try selling them on, and for like, I don't know, like $30 a piece. He sold every single one of them. It's crazy.
Because it doesn't make sense to
Yeah,
have to, just because one breaker goes to the bad, and you can't get that breaker anymore, you got to replace your whole stinking box and everything. I mean, come on now. That's ridiculous, but that's what's going on now
exactly.
in
Well, that's the
building.
thing, right? So that building, that apartment complex decided to change out their breakers to be more efficient and do this or do that. There's still 14,000 apartment complexes with the old breakers that still need them and can't get them anywhere. So, there's people that are never going to upgrade.
Well, and the phone supply that you just showed,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
folks,
The phone
if
system still be good for 20 years. You know? It-
yeah, it'll still gonna work. It's just if the power supply goes dead, and what I love about phone systems, Lord have mercy, AAA just changed its phone system, Benz. Do you
yeah.
know how much was spent on changing over from that one phone
I've
system?
been
And
through
oh my
3 or 4
God.
companies and we've done that. We take the old phones and just throw them out. I mean, they're no good to us. It's like, and you put this whole new phone in, and then you don't have it doesn't work as good as it used to. So who
Or it's
knows?
totally here's what astounds me. So let me just say this, and I'm just going to talk from a business standpoint, folks, on why you should pick up stuff like this, because smaller companies can't adapt to this because AAA,
Right.
it is estimated, and I don't want to talk too much about it, but I mean I was just doing some quick estimates on 15 of us in class learning the new phone system for a week. Think about
Yeah.
the cost of that. So not only do you have installing the new phone system, getting it up and running, working out all the bugs and kinks and everything, but now you're taking 15 off your floor, sticking them in training for a week just to learn the new phone system. Now multiply that across 40,000 employees.
Yeah.
How much
It's a
money
lot of
did
work.
they lose? I mean,
Yeah.
and you're trying to do it as efficient as possible, but you got to learn a whole new phone system. The transfer doesn't work the same. So stuff like what he's got right there, and a big part of the reason that they did it was because a lot of the old phones, the desk phones, were going to the bad, and they couldn't
Yeah.
get parts from them anymore. And so they wanted to ditch all that, and they said, well, we're going to go over here to this new software only. Which, I tell you something, folks, I love the ease of it now that I've learned it, but it is buggy. It is so buggy. Transfer it and go to the wrong extension to get them come back to you mad as they can be.
Yeah.
I think IT people break stuff just so they have job security. I swear.
Well, you got to.
I mean,
All
but
right.
anyway,
So
so
yeah.
I think that's a great item, and you can find those kind of things.
Yeah. And
So
just
you
be
brought
out
an
looking
actual
for it.
item, and I brought one to
Yes.
throw them a loop.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. But we'll have more, right? And we're going to try to find things like that are worthwhile looking for. Although it is fun to figure out that there's 4,000 of them and they're worth 8 cents a piece, and you just spend a bunch of money on it. Yeah,
Yeah, you've got 200 of them, and there's
yeah,
already 4,000 listed, and they got a sell through rate of two -2%.
Exactly.
Been
And
there.
that happens to me a lot. But that's the stuff I got to stop. I got to stop the I'll buy anything for $1 because I ain't got room for it right now. I
Right.
got limited space. Although what I brought only is taking up about 20% of my racking, so I still have 80% to go. So I think I can get myself to easily 5,000 items in here in this if I keep it small
You
stuff.
guys help me out here, because he's planning on being in Tampa for like 6 to 18 months, or being in Savannah
Yes.
for 6 to 18 months.
Yes.
Now, folks, help me out here. Let's try to help me out here. Make comments. Let's keep Ben's in check, because he may have that whole place full and then have to truck it.
Yeah,
I
whatever.
see
You
that.
know what? I'll move it home. It's fine. I'll sell it cheap. I'll have a yard sale and just get rid of it. The belt buckles I'll hold on to. I think I really am going to try the live selling. I've got a bunch of multiple belt buckles. I'm going to try that. I got, and I have belts now to go with them. So you can buy a belt. I can sell you the belt buckle and then the belt static listing for $10 on the belt. Maybe that'll work. I don't know.
Well, you
With
could
the
do
bins
list the
here, I
belts.
want to try, I have a lot of friends that have gone to the live selling.
Well,
And the best
here's the
thing that sells
thing.
on live is clothing. Clothing
Well,
sells the best on live from everybody.
let's talk about live selling. Let's talk about live selling
Yeah.
for just a moment. Okay, so you spent what, 12 to 16 of your career years working for a company that's what they did, was live selling?
Oh yeah, no, 18 years. I worked for home shopping for 18 years, almost 19 years.
18 years. So this is not a new concept, folks, but there's a new way to do it so everybody can get in on it, and
Yeah,
it's probably the next big boom, is live selling.
I think it is. I mean, I think you have the personality and I have the personality to do it. So we should try it. I've
Yeah, the only
been
problem is
onboarded
90% of the
to
clothes
whatnot.
I've got.
Yeah, well, you know what? You list them for $1 and then they sell and then you ship them. Just get rid of them.
Yeah,
But
but
that's the whole idea, right?
I would feel bad modeling 90% of the clothes that I got, because it's women's clothes, and I don't look good in
Well,
women's
I don't
clothes.
think you lied sell. I don't think you'd be like, hey, look at this brassiere. It fits me just wonderfully. No, that's not how it works. What's wrong with you? Sometimes I worry about you. You know,
I was just thinking, HSN always had them beautiful models on their modeling stuff. They'd be like, look at
oh,
this
they did.
place.
Yeah, they always have
Look at it, it's
models.
so beautiful. You know.
There was a lady who worked in Roanoke who was our, the GM's receptionist or whatever, the personal assistant, and her goal was to be a model, and she did. I mean, she was a very attractive young girl, and she ended up moving to Tampa, where I live now. That's where HSN's, and she was a model. She's probably still a model there, but that was her goal. The only reason she took the job is so she could get in, so she could become a model, because she had no modeling career. But it worked out for her. I mean, I could be a
Hey.
hand model. I got nice hands. I'm like George from Seinfeld. I never done any real work. No, I'm just kidding. Uh, this new job, man, I got like calluses on my hands. I'm actually having to work. It's crazy.
I will say this though. I do think live selling is going to be the next big thing. And I think because really that's what saved Facebook Marketplace. Let's face it,
Yeah,
Facebook Marketplace just became a dreadful, horrible place to try to do business. Now, some people, don't get me
it's
wrong,
still
don't shoot
available.
us,
It's still
don't
available.
send us
It's
hate
still
mail. Yes, it's still available, but
it's still
I
available.
mean, it just it works. Don't get me wrong, I know several people that
I'm
that's who
thinking
they
about
sell
becoming a
on.
male dancer, but I'm really worried about the paper cuts.
Not even going into that one. That was a setup.
It
I mean,
was.
but
If you have a
I
hot
do
cut,
think,
you have to, make sure that the men leave her alone.
okay.
That's an
Um,
inside joke.
back live
That's an
selling. I
inside
think
joke.
live selling is a huge way to go. I think it will be awesome. I do have some suggestions though. I think you have to get a light that don't pop.
It just can you hear it? It keeps popping, man. I'm worried.
I think I
It
did
is
hear it
super
one
bright.
time.
Like, if I shine it
Oh,
towards it, it's
oh
insane.
yeah,
It's
it
like
would blind us. You did it earlier, and I
it's
was
like
like, good lord.
It's like
That thing
seven
is
hundred
bright.
thousand lumens or some crazy thing. It's nuts, but it's so bright in here. It's like it's daytime, and it's not. I mean, that thing. Before. I mean, let's turn it off.
Yeah, we saw it last night. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I got. Oh, now it's really popping. You didn't like that? Ooh,
It's cooling off. That's what it's doing. It's cooling off. It's
boom!
getting too
This is
hot.
on.
It's getting too hot, man. That's what it is. It's the plastic. It's too hot.
It's LEDs. LEDs don't have heat.
You better touch it and see. I think that sucker's hot.
Oh, it is hot. Yeah, that doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. Cheap Chinese shit. They
Let me
rewired it.
ask you a question. Is it an LED? Is it fully or is it an LED screw in?
It's a screw.
So it'll take a regular bulb.
No, it's a,
I'm just wondering if it's
that
wired
works.
properly for LEDs. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if that's. Don't turn it on. You blinded me
I'm
last
not going to turn on. Good Lord, I'm not going to fuck with. Excuse me. I'm not going to do that.
But I mean, if
Oh,
it's
it is
getting
hot.
hot, it shouldn't be getting hot like that, dude.
Oh, no.
You might want
I
to
mean, I can
send
turn
that
the
one.
mag on.
You might want to send that one back. Say this one's getting hot. Is it supposed to melt plastic? Did you send me a laser? I don't know. Let's yeah. Oh no, he turned it back on. I was gonna say let's
I
try it.
got to turn it back
So
on, otherwise you can't see me. I'm going to keep using it. I
so
might try to screw it in up there and let it come down on top of me.
Ben's is gonna need yeah. Come down, folks. Ben's is gonna increase his rental coverage here on everything, so he can cover all his items. Lord, man. But anyway, so I hope you folks enjoyed our podcast. We're getting up there in time. We're also going to be trying to trim these down for you so you don't have to sit in front of a screen unless you just like looking at us. But we want to make sure we're giving you the information you need, having a good time, and you enjoy spending the time with us. So, and then it's
Yeah, so
good
we're
for you.
debating on this whole thing. Yeah, we think maybe 20 minutes, and we'll do the picker pass where we each do like an item or two items, and then chop it out and just start dropping them daily. Because what it seems like the trend is 15 to 20 minutes is what people want to listen to. But at the same time, leave it whole because on the audio side, they like to have like an hour long thing.
Hmm.
Or maybe
We
not.
just
I
want
don't
to try
know.
to
I mean,
we'll play with it. You guys write into us. Tell us kind of what you're thinking. I mean, we want to make sure that, again, this needs to be a mutual symbiotic relationship
yes.
because we enjoy doing this for you guys. Really do.
We enjoy doing it. Yeah, for sure. We want to keep doing this and we want to make sure it's effective. We want to make sure we're not wasting your or our time.
Mostly
But it
yours.
seems
We
like
we we don't want to
we're
waste
going to
their
bullshit
time.
anyway. Yeah. 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 I mean,
Yeah.
I have a shoebox. I can give you a puppet show if you need. But,
No thanks.
it's my hobby.
Joe.
It's on my OnlyFans. So,
There you go. You, you can open yourself an OnlyFans account while you're there by yourself and lonesome.
yeah, no, the OnlyFans, if you go on there, it's just a guy and he's just like by himself. I don't think they make any money and they're kind of sad and pathetic.
You have gone on there and looked up single guys by themselves.
No, no, I haven't done any real research. I'm just assuming.
Done any real
That did sound
research.
worse. I haven't done any real research at all.
Oh my
Most of
gosh.
my stuff's off the cuff.
Oh, folks,
OF.
you you've heard it all now.
So everybody keeps talking about some lady who got banned, can't sell anymore. Have you heard anything about this lady?
What no.
Oh
We'll talk
man,
about
I
this
don't
real
know.
quick. We got a few minutes. We talking about some lady got banned from what? From OnlyFans or eBay? Because we were
No,
talking about
no.
OnlyFans.
No, no, we're not talking about OnlyFans. The reseller that got banned everywhere.
How? What did she do? Because we need to make sure we don't do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I don't
got a
know.
few
I don't
minutes.
know
We'll
the
talk about this because if you can find anything on it, she got banned from every platform.
all over the place. She got banned for reselling.
Wow. What was
Uh,
she doing?
Probably pretty prepared with this. We weren't doing any news, but somebody was talking about it on a podcast today, and I'm like, oh, I want to know more about that, but I didn't really pay attention.
We might have to bring that up next time. I mean,
Yeah, I'll
got
figure out her name.
got banned from
I
every
mean, I'm banned
platform.
on TikTok. Yeah, that's the other thing about this desk. It's way too small, so I can't put my thing in there.
Oh, well, now this lady here, this may be the same lady, Joyce Bell. Does that sound like? Because I just did a quick Google search. She was selling
Yeah.
illegal elephant ivory
Oh, that's
on
what I'm
multiple
talking about.
platforms, and now she's going to prison. Not only is she banned, but she's this lady right here, this Joyce Bell, is going to prison. She got convicted in Scotland, and she's from Scotland, Dundee Sheriff Court. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you can't sell illegal stuff. And the top eBay seller was banned permanently. Now what? That was 2 years ago though. That can't be the thing. Then some woman got banned from every Walmart in America for running a barcode scam. I don't
I
know.
think it's Ruby.
I don't know. We'll have to do a little more research to get back to you folks. I mean, because we definitely don't want to cross whatever line she crossed. It's getting tough on us
Ruby
resellers
Dixon, I
out
think.
here.
Ruby Dixon, maybe.
I don't know. I can do a Google. Ruby Dixon.
Yeah.
Well, that comes up as a romance author. So what are you doing in there by yourself?
Yes, that's
Ruby
what I'm doing.
Dixon comes up automatically as a romance author. You getting into selling books? I thought that was Alex's thing.
I was thinking about it, and then I realized that on YouTube or
Alex, if
on
you're
Amazon.
watching, do you sell any Ruby Dixon? And Ben's is apparently needing some romance novels to get him through the lonely times. He's been trying that OnlyFans and it ain't working out.
It's pathetic if you're just.
I'm sorry, man. Next time you see me, you can punch me.
Oh, that's fine.
Just
I got thick
remember,
skin.
I'm a little guy. You can't hit me as hard. Don't hit me as hard as you can. You'll hurt me.
I don't know. I'll look it up. There's some woman, Ruby something or other. I don't know. She got banned on all kinds of. He's like been banned on here and there and doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, we definitely want to look that up. I don't know,
There's
man.
also like
I
a
mean, I
large seller
I know
that's
we
not
followed a
shipping their
kind of a
stuff.
crazy format on this one, but I don't know, folks. We hadn't talked in a while, so you got to see the kind of the
We're
banter
rambling.
there. Yeah, we are. We need to cut it off before we cross a lot of lines. Family show.
We're not doing anything wrong. I mean, yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot. This was, not the longest show we ever had, but it felt as long as we possibly had before. You know, we will definitely, we are definitely, going to change the format. Thank you guys for watching. You guys out there on YouTube and everybody on Spotify. We're going to try to keep putting stuff out. I know my move. has put a damper on my ability to do the editing like I'd like to. So let's and no shipping and sipping, no nothing, man. I gotta get
No,
back to
that's
it.
the one I missed. I got some cool
Hmm.
drinks out of that one.
I got
You
like
might have to bring
16 of
that one
them.
back. You might have to bring
Well, I got
sipping
like
and shipping
16 of
back.
them in the can that I did before I left that I've never posted. So I gotta get back to that. Because I was selling like crazy, man. I was selling. I was going good. Now I'm just like, two cards and a couple belt buckles. I got to work through this. I feel lonely. I need a hug. Can somebody come spoon with me? I'm lonely in Savannah. Oh, cut it there. Cut it there. Let's move on. All right. Thanks again. You guys have a wonderful week. We're going to put this out. I'm not editing anything. I'm just letting it fly. We didn't say anything we had to edit, do we? This week?
No,
We didn't. No.
no,
Yeah,
we good.
I'm on a new podcast now, and then I realized that they thought when I said family, you were saying family show. It was just like me being slightly belligerent, not me. So we got to work through that, and I need to learn that NC-17 is as high as I can go. Triple X unacceptable. All right, everybody, have a wonderful week. We'll talk
You
to you
both.
later.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.